hey there, all you fine internet folks, YouTube voyeurs, watchers of the real reality TV. It is your friend, the Sinister Minister, back again with another vlog. And we're being held up by road construction. Typical for northeastern Ohio. So we'll get this vlog rolling here in a second. Plus I got the 5-0 behind me. So I don't want to make any mistakes. I don't know what the fuck they got going on over here. This guy can't conduct traffic for shit. Alright. Now we're rolling. So, typical November day in northeastern Ohio. Rainy, wet, crappy. But, you know, like they say, if you don't like the weather in Ohio, wait 15 minutes and it'll change. So, that's very typical. But anyways, I had a topic in mind that I was going to talk about, but then, you know, like always, some shit goes down, and then I get sidetracked, and then I start thinking, well, you know, there's always something else a little more realistic, because this is the real reality TV, right here, right now. And, you know, it's, we got to deal as individuals, as Homo sapiens, human beings. We have to deal with, you know, morons, idiots, and, you know, people of the like, scamsters, charlatans, matchstick men, you know, all that shit. And, well, you know, happens to the best of us, even some of us that have the best intentions. But, you know, when you look to somebody for help, guidance, assistance, and they recognize that, and they take you in and they say, all right, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, you got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Oh, no, that's not what I'm talking about. But in a sense, yeah. You got problems, we can fix them. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's the route we're gonna take. Now pay me money and we'll start fixing your problems. And you go ahead and you pay a person money. They make you feel good. You're like, okay, they took my money, they're gonna fix my problems. And then they go and don't follow through with what they say they're gonna do. Not only do they not fix your problems, but they put you in a much worse situation than you were originally in. To some degree. On some levels. Maybe not as a whole, but definitely to some degree. Now, you might say, Sinman, what the fuck? You're talking pretty vague. What the fuck is going on? Well, I'm going to be, unfortunately, somewhat vague in this vlog, but you'll understand. I'm not going to name any names or any specifics, because this individual that has wronged me, I've been under litigation with in the past and been forced to drop the case. And so I'm, going to be figuring out another way to deal with the situation. But nonetheless, The long and the long of it is, and if you watch some of my other vlogs, I kind of talk about it. But I had some tax issues. It's no secret. And I'm not outing myself, because Lord knows the IRS knows that I went poop earlier today, and what I used to wipe my behind with. So they already know all that. So that's no big secret. Excuse me. So you have tax issues, and you go to a place and you say, hey, they have all these, tax remediation, or, we'll fix your tax problems, we'll do this, we'll do that. And, you go and you hope for the best, and like I said, I've talked somewhat briefly about my situation, so I don't feel like I should go back through it. This is more just a rant on fucking people out there that are going to scam people and just be complete assholes, and take people's money, not follow through with what they say they're going to do, and what the fuck, basically just like, what the fuck, But yeah, so, I hired a guy to fix my problems, fix our family, my whole situation. And he took thousands of dollars of mine and didn't do everything he said. He did some things he said he was going to do, and that was great. But he didn't do everything, and because he didn't do everything, it caused a lien on my business, and I'm forced now to pay that lien. And it's out of basic negligence of this other individual. So it's listen, I've made plenty of mistakes in my life. I've made my tax mistakes. I've made lots of business errors and stuff, because I didn't have any guidance, and I'm learning and stuff like that. And I'm paying for those, and I've paid for those. I got no problem owning up to my own mistakes. I don't think I know everything. I don't claim to know everything. I'm just a regular guy. But when somebody, and that's fine. When when you're willing to accept your mistakes and pay for them, whatever they are, great. I think that's how people should be. Nobody's perfect, and if you make a mistake, you just fucking own up to it and move on with life. But when somebody else does something wrong to you, when somebody else fucking, causes you financial turmoil, just, unnecessary stress and frustration and all that shit. I mean, that's just, and they don't at least try to work it out with you, and try to come up to some kind of resolution. They just fucking run and hide. I think it's just downright shitty, and, it doesn't surprise me, because nothing really surprises me anymore, because I just inherently expect people to be assholes and shitty. It's what surprises me is when people are like thoughtful and forthcoming, and they're friendly, and and just considerate and stuff. That's the kind of stuff that actually shocks me, because I'm not used to that. I used to be a fucking a real self-centered fucking egotistical, which I still kind of am a little. I got a big fat ego, but I used to be a real self-centered guy, only thinking about myself. I couldn't give a shit about anybody else, and I pretty much was that way up until my 20s, in my mid to late 20s. But at one point I met my wife. She's been a great influence on me about being nicer and more caring, and I've changed. I've become more. I help people when I can. I do whatever I can to help people out. I've been very fortunate for my situation, in business and everything. So I try to give back when I can, where I can. But I'm certainly not taking advantage of people, and I'm not, I'm not out here trying to scam anybody. And the people that do that, I just don't know how they sleep at night. I just don't understand what's going through their head. And, I just don't know. I know for a fact the guy that wronged us has wronged other people. And it's been, and it's out there, and it's facts. And it's not thought and just, fabrication, but it's facts. And we're not the only ones. But unfortunately, I can't worry about the other people. I got to worry about me and my own. It's unfortunate there's a pattern, there's a trail, but, I just don't understand where fucking society is now, where people can just fucking screw people over. And I'm not talking about no fucking Nigerian fucking king email scam, fucking, some dumb fuck that sends hundreds of thousands of dollars of their savings to some idiot you threw an email thing. That's just plain stupidity. That's just, you're asking for it then, because you gotta be one gullible son of a bitch to fucking believe some bullshit email, even if you're not aware of email scams. I mean, you honestly, this, I've learned a long time ago, there is no easy anything, especially when it comes to money. If somebody emails you and says, hey, I got $20 million sitting in the bank, and if you send me $5,000, you can have half of it. That just doesn't make any fucking sense. And if you think that's like better than the lottery, so if you think that's an actual thing that can happen, you're just really gullible and you got some fucking problems. So I'm not talking about situations like that where people are just plain downright stupid. I'm talking about people that are deliberately fucking people over, scamming them, building a trust and then completely destroying it, and then running and hiding like a freaking pussy and not willing to stand up to what the fuck they did. Or at the very least, set up a forum for communication to work out the situation. Like, okay, you were working with me and this situation happened. Okay, well, let's see what we can do to try to work it out. You may not come to a resolution, but at least have balls and man enough or woman enough to step up and say, okay, I understand I was involved in this situation. I, at some level maybe created this situation. Let's work it out. But when people just run and hide, and just completely, do it. I deal with it all the time in business. I have people that, our working relationship doesn't work out and they don't want to pay their last invoice or their first, sometimes it's their first invoice. I'm going through that situation yet again, which will be like the 5th or 6th time I've had to go through it this year, where we provide service and do work and then they don't want to pay for it because they're too fucking disorganized and too screwed up and just don't want to communicate. That's the biggest thing. Like, people don't want to communicate. I'm not sitting here picking people apart, but I'm not scamming them. I'm providing a service and they don't, aren't receptive to the service, but they still got to pay for the service, and then they don't like paying for it because they weren't receptive or wanted to communicate. And that's not my problem. My time, like anybody's time, I feel anybody's time is valuable. I don't care what you are or who you are. Your time is valuable, especially if you're providing a service. So, I just don't understand why people think that they're going to get away with it in one way or another, whether it's in like this life, the afterlife, or whatever. But honestly, how do you fucking sleep at night? Like, when you fuck people over for thousands and thousands of dollars, and in my case, it was to the tune of $10,000, like, seriously, how the fuck do you sleep when, you fucked people over and all you think about is yourself? I wouldn't personally, not even, maybe back in the day when I was really self-centered and didn't give a shit, but, I still wouldn't want that hanging over my head. Unless you're just a complete soulless motherfucker, which, a lot of these people are out here. Good Lord, man. It's so fucked up. I just don't know. I don't know, man. I'm probably just, preaching to all y'all's choirs out there because you've probably been gotten fucked over by people. And I'm not talking some bullshit fabrication of some again, I'm not making all this shit up. I'm not talking about some, it's not my thought, my fabrication of the facts and stuff. It's all been proven, and that's why people hide. I've been a big, I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say, but I've always said, proponent. Is that a word? I don't even know what the fuck I'm trying to say. Well, I do know what I'm trying to say. I just don't know how to say it. I'll break it down simple. I've always said fucking liars hide. I've said it a fucking million times, and I'll say it a million times more. Liars hide. It's that simple. That's going to be one of the next tattoos I get, because if you're fucking lying, if you're full of shit, you are going to hide. You are not going to own up to the person that's accusing you, because if you honestly, if you feel that you're, correct, then why would you hide? If you know you're full of shit, if you know you cause somebody problems, you're going to fucking hide. Liars hide. That's it. And I might even title this fucking vlog that. Liars hide. Because it's true. Show me a fucking bullshit liar that stood up and said, you know what, you're right. I fucking lied. I'm full of shit. Very rarely, but usually that happens after they've been busted, and that's after they've been caught, is when they fucking, maybe, they fucking own up to it. Maybe. I just think it's just fucking unbelievable that, and there's, unfortunately there's not a lot of recourse, for the individual when they get fucked over by somebody. And of course I'm talking mostly financially here, except for going to the courts and stuff. And fortunately though, you have small claims courts, and you have, the larger scale with the lawyer and stuff like that, depending on how much the person's owe you. You can only go up to after somebody for $5,000 in small claims court. But it's just, I'm just basically just ranting and raving, man. I don't know. I'm just so irritated. And of course, when, I had to drop my case because the guy that I, was going after, when his business shut down, it just became a situation where, he doesn't have any tangible income. And, if you have other people going after you and stuff, it's going to be hard for you to collect your money. So then, my lawyer's like, it's just not worth it. It's just too big of a risk. And, a lot of work's got to get put into it. And I completely understand that. But, and I don't know. I'm not the type to want to give up. And I understand how lawyers work. They put a lot of effort in the hopes that, the case can pan out and they can recoup their money in the end. And I get it. I know it's real shitty. And you believe in a case and you believe in a thing, and then if something happens and you can't go through with it, then you're asked out. But I'm still asked out too. I mean, he's asked out some of his time and stuff, and he's probably been working on multiple cases and all that jazz. I mean, I'm still the one being screwed here, has to pay this fucking bullshit lien that I didn't fucking create. But I do believe justice will be served at some level at some point. But it's just, this is just more of a fucking rant and rave about fucking people getting screwed over and how the fuck they live with themselves. And, why does it have to happen? I mean, I don't know. How do you prevent it? It's, like I always like, I don't like to bitch about something without having a solution. But, but really, how do you prevent it from happening? Well, the only thing you can do is be real diligent on research in an individual. And I didn't do much research on this, this guy in my case. But, I did some research. I wasn't very diligent. But of course, at that point, there was no fucking bad marks. There wasn't any bad things to come up. In hindsight, that shit didn't come up till after he, started screwing people over. So, again, it could happen even after you do your diligence. But I guess you might as well, research anybody. If you're gonna fucking hire a contractor, if you're gonna, fucking hire somebody to do your taxes or whatever, anybody. I mean, do your research, do your diligence, and try to avoid, this kind of shit from happening, because nobody deserves this to happen. I didn't deserve it. My family doesn't deserve it. And hell, his family doesn't deserve, or anybody's family doesn't deserve this to happen to them. But I just don't get how people can fucking do this shit and be such pussies when it comes to the resolution part, inherently you were a cause of this, if that's the situation, then why not fucking just man up and be like, look, I got to figure it out. You might owe some money. Yeah, well, you cost somebody some money, and a family, people with children and stuff. I mean, that puts a hurting on that individual that didn't have to have that happen or shouldn't have had that happen. Yet, the fucking douchebag, the fucking asshole, he gets away with it scot-free in many cases. And yeah, I mean, it's just really, it's fucked up. I don't know. It's just really depressing to think about it because, me personally and, me and my wife and our family, we've been through quite a bit over the years. And I mean, we've been together like 14 years and we've been through a whole lot of shit in 14 years. We've lost family members, we've lost clients and gained clients and, and just, we have, family members that aren't around and, and all this blah, blah, blah. And it's just fucked up. It's just so fucked up. But we still persevere and we still, move on. But you can't, sometimes the only person you can trust is yourself, it seems like. Like, it's hard to fucking trust people. That's one of my biggest problems is trusting people, obviously. And it's just guys like this and situations like this just make it fucking harder to freaking, be more trusting and be more, really, it doesn't make me want to trust people more and be more accepting and bring more people in. I'm trying to bring you people in, but I just want you to, maybe listen to my story, take something away from it, maybe get a little advice, maybe get a little education, and, hopefully shit doesn't happen to you, because I'm just talking from my personal experiences. All these vlogs are just me talking about my experiences. I mean, I've been around, almost 40 years in this on this planet, on this rotating world, and I've been through a whole lot of mess and a whole lot of good stuff, a whole lot of bad shit, and I'm just bringing life experience to you, and hopefully it's somewhat interesting, and maybe in some cases enlightening, enlightenment. I don't know. My grammar's not good. Don't forget, I'm a high school dropout. But I have come very far in my life, and I don't know. I do believe people can change. I believe people can, turn around. I believe in second chances. I don't believe in third and fourth chances, but I do believe in second chances. I've been given second chances, and I've had only literally I can count it on one hand the amount of people that have helped my family out and helped me out in different ways. And I just don't mean financially. I mean emotionally and maybe spiritually. But it's no more than a hand count of people that in my life have done so. Other than that, I've been pretty much self-sufficient and very independent, and been up and down, done what I could, to get by. But I damn sure weren't, deliberately trying to scam people and trying to, fuck people over to get ahead. I've never done that, and I never will. But the people that do, it's just so fucked up. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this shit up, and I don't want to keep going on and on and on. I mean, if you do watch this, I'm sure you agree with me on some level, and hopefully, you don't get put in a situation where people fuck you over financially, emotionally, mentally. But it's gonna happen. Be prepared, and just try to be strong and push on through. And Sinister Minister's always here. I'm always good for a friend. It's hard to make them these days, but hey, what the fuck, I haven't given up on society, although I sound like I have, but I truly have not given up 100% yet, but it's becoming very nil. It's becoming very thin of what your expectations can and should be from society nowadays. But anyways, anyway, goodbye, toodaloo. This is the Sinister Minister, and we're gonna wrap up this vlog on this piss rain fucking Tuesday in northeastern Ohio. Anyways, Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Like I always say, like I always will say, take it easy, keep it sleazy, and hey, we'll see ya in the next video.